Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to crack open one of the biggest, most powerful, and maybe most confusing technologies out there, the cloud. So what is this thing really? The thing we're all using every single day?
You know that feeling, right? That little panic attack when your phone screams, storage almost full. Or maybe you're binge watching a show on Netflix and it just works. Perfect HD, no downloads, no waiting. How in the world does all that digital magic happen so smoothly? Well, the answer is something you're already using constantly.
Yep, the secret behind all these modern marvels, it's the cloud. You're not actually keeping all those photos or movies right there on your device. Nope, they're living on these incredibly powerful computers, probably hundreds or thousands of miles away, and you're just pulling them down from the internet whenever you need them.
So what is the cloud officially? Think of it like this. It's the delivery of computing services. We're talking storage, servers, software, the whole shebang over the internet. Instead of owning your own powerful computer, you're just renting space on someone else's. Someone who has a way more powerful computer than you'll ever need. It's the ultimate pay-as-you-go model for digital horsepower.
Okay, to really get why this is such a game changer, we got to take a little trip back in time, to the before times of IT. So picture this. You're a software founder named Ravi, and you just landed a huge project. Awesome, right? Well, it's also kind of terrifying. See, back in the old on-premise world, Ravi's got a massive problem. He'd have to go out and buy these super expensive physical servers. Then he's got to find a place to put them, set up cooling systems. I mean, we're talking months of work just to get the basics running. It's a huge upfront cost and a total maintenance nightmare. But with the cloud, his problem just disappears. Poof! He just rents what he needs, spins up some virtual servers and storage with a few clicks, and it's all ready to go, instantly. And the best part? He only pays for exactly what he's using.
But here's where it gets truly magical. Let's call it elasticity. So, say Ravi's app suddenly goes viral overnight. In the old days, his servers would have just melted down, total crash. But in the cloud, he can set up something called auto-scaling. When traffic spikes, boom! More servers automatically spin up to handle the load. And when things quiet down, they just shut themselves off to save him money. That means a super smooth experience for his customers and absolutely zero panic for Ravi.
All right, so Ravi is totally sold on the cloud. But the cloud isn't just one thing. It's more like a restaurant menu, with different levels of service depending on what you need. Let's see how this all stacks up.
And believe it or not, the absolute best way to understand this menu is with pizza. I'm serious. The famous pizza-as-a-service analogy breaks down all these complex options into something we can all sink our teeth into.
This brings us to the three main ways you can use the cloud. First up, at the very foundation, you've got Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. Think of this as renting a full-on professional kitchen. You get the ovens, the counters, the fridge, all the raw infrastructure. But you have to bring your own ingredients and do all the cooking yourself. Next level up, you have Platform as a Service, or PaaS. Now, the kitchen not only gives you the space, but also provides the pizza dough, the sauce, and the toppings. The platform is ready for you. You just have to assemble the pizza and bake it. You get to focus on your unique recipe, which is your code. And finally, we have what most of us use every single day, Software as a Service, or SaaS. This is like just ordering a fully cooked pizza delivered right to your door. You don't manage anything. You just open the box and enjoy. This is your Gmail, your Netflix, your Spotify.
So really, it all boils down to a simple trade-off. As you go from infrastructure to platform to software, you're basically swapping control for convenience. A systems administrator might need that total granular control of IaaS. A developer, they're going to love the head start that PaaS gives them. And for the rest of us, well, we just want the app to work, right? And that is the absolute beauty of SaaS.
Okay, so we've covered the what, the services you can get, but now let's talk about the where. How are these cloud services actually deployed? Where do they live?
And we've got another simple analogy for this one. Think about it like this. Is your data going to be on a public bus, or does it need its own private car? The choice you make really depends on what you need when it comes to cost, security, and control.
The most common way is the public cloud. Using our analogy, this is like taking a public bus. The infrastructure, the bus itself, is owned by a huge provider like Amazon or Google, and you're just sharing the resources with lots of other passengers. It's super cost-effective, it's really easy to get started, and that's why it's the go-to for most startups and developers.
Then you've got the private cloud. This is like owning your own private car. The entire infrastructure is dedicated to just one company. This gives you the maximum amount of security and control, which is why it's a must-have for places that handle super sensitive data, like banks, governments, or hospitals. Yeah, it costs more, but for them, that level of control is absolutely non-negotiable.
And finally, there's the hybrid cloud, which tries to give you the best of both worlds. This model is a mix of public and private clouds, letting a company pick the right tool for the right job. A classic example is an e-commerce store. It might keep all your sensitive customer payment info super secure in its private cloud, but use the cheap, scalable public cloud to handle all the traffic from people just browsing products. It's the ultimate in flexibility.
So who are these massive companies running this whole global show? You've definitely heard their names, but you might not realize just how much of your digital life they're actually powering.
The cloud market is pretty much dominated by three giants. Amazon Web Services, or AWS, is the clear market leader. Microsoft Azure is right behind them, a super strong competitor. And then you have Google Cloud Platform, or GCP, which is growing like crazy to round out the big three.
First, let's talk about the giant in the room, AWS. It's the most comprehensive, most widely used cloud platform on the planet. I mean, think about it. When you're watching Netflix, when you're booking an Airbnb, or even when you're following a NASA mission, you are plugged into the power of Amazon Web Services.
Then we've got Microsoft Azure. It's a beast in its own right, especially for huge businesses and corporations. It's the trusted platform for giants like BMW and HSBC. And its security is so good, it's relied on by organizations like Adobe and even the US government.
And let's not forget Google Cloud Platform, or GCP. This is pretty cool. It runs on the exact same infrastructure that powers Google Search and YouTube, so you know it's robust. It's the platform of choice for a lot of tech innovators, companies like Spotify, PayPal, and Snapchat.
Okay, this is all really fascinating stuff, but what does it actually mean for you? Why should you care? Well, because understanding the cloud isn't just a nice-to-have anymore, it is absolutely essential for the future of work.
Just chew on this number for a second. A staggering 90% of companies now consider themselves cloud first. That has created this insane demand for people with cloud skills. But the supply of people who actually know this stuff just hasn't caught up.
And what that means is that a whole universe of high-paying, future-proof career paths has just blown wide open. We're talking about jobs like cloud engineer, cloud architect, DevOps engineer, and even more specialized fields like an AI and machine learning engineer or a cloud security analyst. These aren't just jobs, you know. These are the roles that are literally building the future of technology right now.
So, the cloud isn't some fuzzy, abstract idea anymore. It's the real, tangible backbone of our digital world, powering everything from the apps on our phones to the biggest companies on the planet. So the real question isn't if the cloud is important. The real question is, how is it going to power your future?